Hello, everyone, and I'm super excited today. It's Thursday again. Welcome to my talk show, Guilty by My Own Desires. And today I have an amazing artist with me. I'm a fan, I have to confess. Her name is Lisa Panagos, and she is a songwriter and a singer. And well, she also produced some of her music. So I would like to welcome Lisa.
Hi, Giovanna.
Hi, Lisa. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Well, I'm doing great, having coffee in the middle of the afternoon as well. But I was very much looking forward to talk with you. I mean, I absolutely love the song. One of your songs that is Shut Down. And now you're releasing your new album, Beautiful. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. And you was nominated in the Hollywood Media Awards. So many things are happening recently with you in the middle of the pandemic. So I think that this is also a positive outlook.
Yes, thank goodness. It's good to be busy during the pandemic, even if you're at home. you know.
So tell me about your album, Beautiful. Let's start for that.
Well, it's like a feel-good record. It's about love and heartbreak and relationships gone awry, and love lost and love gained, and it took me a long time to make this record. I have amazing musicians on it, but it was quite a journey. And Clark Germain is Emmy and Grammy winner. He mixed the record at East West Studios in Hollywood, and that was just an amazing experience. So they all lifted the record up to a place that made me really happy. So,
but of course, to get nominated in the Hollywood Media Awards, also, like, how was your experience there? Because that was, I think, very recent, a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, they're great over there. Brent Harvey, put on a great show. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it? It was virtual, but he did a great job. John Legend was there, and Justin Timberlake, and he did an amazing virtual show. So it was fantastic.
Well, I'm so happy because it's difficult to make an event or a show in person. It's a lot of logistics that goes behind it, but virtual, I think that some people think that it's easier. But yes, it's an easier in some ways, but the other ways are so many logistics and people that you need to train to see how everything will work smoothly. So having this feedback from your part, yeah, I'm sure that the event was amazing. I want to ask you, where did you get your inspiration from when you're a songwriter as well? So you like to sing, so know the things they come from you, and I'm just curious about where all this inspiration come from.
Meeting, people and being in relationships. So the pandemic has been hard in terms of writing. I've definitely written different kinds of songs, but relationships, nature is really, somehow I'm just free and my mind is clear when I walk in nature, and I get a lot of creative ideas. Also lying in bed late at night, dreaming, daydreaming, just imagination.
Well, that take me to the next question. What moves Lisa Panagos? You are in the show Guilty by My Own Desires, so I would like to know if you ever felt guilty about following your dream. You talk about relationships, how you ever felt you had to leave someone behind in order to pursue where you need to go, or you can apply another sentence. Yeah, we want to go know your desires and what you feel guilty about it.
I love that title, by the way. That's amazing. Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know about all artists, but this is my first love. I'm in love with what I do. So, it's hard to be in relationships and have that separation. A lot of times they don't understand how much time and effort you need to put into it. So it become strained sometimes. Also, my family, lives on the East Coast, and I used to live in New York City. So, when I moved out here, my mom is no longer with us, but it was hard for her to have me so far away. And so I did feel somewhat guilty, and I have in relationships felt guilty for not being around as much. And I have a lot of drive, and we have to go to events and red carpets, and sometimes people
Endures.
aren't into it, and they don't want to go with you, and that's a mismatch, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Talking about the in the entertainment about that, I share that with you very deeply
really,
because if you don't find the right person or the right match, like you say, if you work in the entertainment, is part of your job, going
yeah,
to the red carpets or going to the events and saying hi, keep up with your fans, write autographs. And sometimes I see from some personal experiences and also friends, they deal with jealousy, they deal with how to break with someone, or yes, being sad in a place where they should supposed to be receiving an award, or it will be the greatest achievement of their life, and then you realize they're going through some heavy stuff in the personal life. And I think that as an artist, one way to put those things out is like yourself, what you're doing, you're writing songs, you are producing your songs. And I think that it's an outlet. I mean, not many people can can have this.
we're so
you know,
lucky. Oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
mean, how do you feel about being able? Because I went a little bit and read back into your music career in the 90s. I mean, you are gorgeous. You was gorgeous during all the time, but in the 90s, you already have albums produced and were selling the records. So I mean, you have a long time career in what has been through your career. What can you share through the years of experience that you have?
Well, wow. I mean, the 90s were so much fun. I was doing a lot of dance music, and and a lot
R&B.
of R&B, house
Yes.
music. Oh
I
gosh.
was in shock when I saw that you did house and like trance music, and before
Yeah.
we met and we were not communicating much. I was dealing with making the virtual red carpet, and I was looking for musicians that did like trance music or house music. And then when I saw like that difference, the how you have play with different genres, I was in shock.
I was really into it back then. Yeah, and well, the clubs were popping everywhere. I was in New York City. The clubs were popping, and the DJs were off the chain, and it was just so much fun. And Miami was a blast. I would go to the conference every year, and I performed there with a big place there too, in a club. So those were fun, really fun years. I would do R&B, an R&B record, and then remix it. So I'd hire my friends to remix it to house or trance or trip hop.
Well, I'm sure that is so fun. I mean, being around musicians, how they create the creative process. I have the opportunity to be in that kind of environment, and it is just blew your mind. You want to dance, you want to. It's so much energy and it's so much happiness going around because it's just the characteristics of creating at that moment. And then you're listening all these sounds and you're hearing, no, this doesn't sound right, let's do it again. You're thinking, what, where was that?
You've been in the studio helping doing that? Really? You've experienced that in the
Yes, I
studio?
have.
Fun.
And it's interesting, but also I think that it help you to see how perfectionist musicians are. They hearing things that you don't have a clue, and I
Yeah.
think that that's amazing. But what has been some of the challenges for you as a performing artist during the years? How have you have keep moving forward?
Yeah, that's a good question. Things, I had in the 90s, there were such a thing back then, not so much anymore, as huge record deals. And I was up for many, and unfortunately, it didn't go through. So I had a really difficult time. And I went back to theater. My roots are Broadway and stuff. So I went back to that and film and television as an actor. But I just couldn't stay away. So the challenge, I just has been sometimes, because I love big productions. I like a record with orchestras, like full on string sections and horn sections, and and musicians with names to come in. So that costs a lot of money. So the challenge is to find the money that will support my vision.
And you have a lot of musicians with very, very well-known names under, your production, and what it has take to develop every song. And I went there and read, and it's so much. I know that just to hire someone that is being Grammy nominated or something like that, they have to be good, talented, but it was also a challenge for you, and to have that because you care about also the quality of your music. That is something that I can see, and that's why I became a fan. I have to say it. I love that song "Shut Down." I think that I have heard over probably 30 times now.
Wow.
Is one of my favorites, and I dedicate that song to someone very recently.
Wow.
you know, I feel very familiar because sometimes you're working in entertainment, people think that you have it all. Well, it's not like that. You had to work with what you have and
Right.
continue creating. I think that that's our main job. Don't you agree with that, Lisa?
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, we have highs and lows, some of the worst lows than anyone, I think, but then the highest of
Can,
highs.
can you share some of that? Can you share any like the low point that you have experience, and how do you record?
Yeah, actually, when my dad passed away, my dad was really supportive, and so was my mom, but she didn't really get it as much as my dad. But he passed, and then my mom was very sick with early Alzheimer's, and so the lawyer of the family kind of took over everything, and he cut me off financially, and I couldn't get a job. I had been back and forth taking care of my mom. I was like the primary caregiver, so I at one point was living in my car, and it was horrific. And then a friend took me in for a few months, and then finally he agreed to get me my apartment back in Hollywood. But no good deed goes unpunished. I stepped away from my career to help her, because none of my other siblings did, and I was traveling so far. And I just got smacked in the face. He didn't understand the business either. So I was like a black sheep for being in show business in his eyes. So that was a really hard time. And I didn't record. I was writing. I didn't have the funding yet for it, but I was definitely writing a lot. But yeah, every day you have to move forward, right? When you're in the depths of despair and you don't know.
Especially those. I mean, that story I have heard more than once, and I'm sure there is people right now with the pandemic living in the cars. Actors and musicians and all other people related with the fields. And the situation is getting very hurtful and unknown of what happened. But this is for the artist. I think that always doesn't matter what is happening. Is always a challenge. It's always like trying to prove someone perhaps, or trying to follow your dream, try to recover and move forward with your dreams. And I really appreciate you sharing this because like I said, I think this is like an open conversation for the people to know and understand what the artists go through, not just like what they see in the red carpet, and the good moments, but
Right.
what it make us to where we're going in our life with our art.
Yeah, and it's so sad those people out there that don't appreciate your talent or your art. The ultra conservatives that just don't understand, and thank God this bill was just passed. Not to get into politics or anything, but they put off unemployment, on the 26th, so
Yeah.
get a little relief till September. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really sad, and art is very special, and I feel
Well,
very
everybody needs to do something during the pandemic, right? Whether they're painting or listen to
right.
music, or something, entertain, reading a book. Okay, who
Right.
wrote the book? And I think the artists should have a little bit credit for that, to give some joy to the people, to
Right.
offer that, and the people to enjoy those pleasures. And so I believe that
Yeah.
there is a purpose for everything, but also it's a very special for all of us that is music, and you do that, and in such a way that you can express what you're going through in a beautiful way, like your album, beautiful. And so, tell me, I mean, what are your burning desires now for you?
My burning desires.
Yes.
Oh, I am dying to get my next record done. I can't really talk much about it, but I've been working on it slowly. I just started my next record, and I'm working with a company. Fingers crossed that it closes next month.
Oh,
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Oh God, I would love to be Grammy nominated. Wouldn't that be fun at some point in my
I mean,
so we'll
it
see.
is possible. Everything is possible. I like to think sometimes. Dolly Parton, she wrote the song. I will always love you,
Yes,
and when Whitney Houston sang it, it was like a completely different song.
I
you know
know.
so we don't know where you are goes and touch other people. That is the same, but it's interpreted different. So why way one way or another, when something is good, is going to prevail, is going to in the perpetuity of things. And so a lot of the musicians, they're not songwriters. They need the song to perform. And
Yes.
so when you do these things, I mean, what is your perspective on that, on the being a songwriter versus being a musician?
Yeah. The reason I came to LA, a publisher flew me out here to write songs. He said, I want you to look at this as a songwriter, not as an artist, and mainly country. And so I wrote a bunch of songs with him, and I looked at it just as a songwriter perspective, that none of these songs were going to be for me, because I have a very distinct style of writing for myself.
Sure.
And he was pushing formula for these country people, country artists. So I did it. I did it for a long time, and I was miserable. So I just said, look, I can't do this anymore. You change all my melodies. You change, I like my melodies, and I don't want them to be in a box, in this formula box. So I said, I have to do a record. I'm sorry. For myself. So I left that situation and I stayed in LA. But I feel if the song is good, like you said, I feel I would love someone to pick it up. But for me to think in my head, okay, what could I write for Reba? Because I worked with her on Broadway. Does she need a song? Does Reba need a song? Does Taylor Swift? No, of course she doesn't need a song. But anybody else, I can't. I don't really have the headspace for that. But if I was in a room with other writers, I would love to do that. But I think my songs, I would love someone else to do it. I mean, if they like the song, I think that would be amazing. Like you said, like Dolly Parton, I'm sure she doesn't think, who could I write the song for?
No, of
No.
course. I mean, I think that it was it's how you interpreted things, and I believe the artists will feed off each other.
Yes.
For example, I just gonna let you know, but I'm going to play your the shutdown, the song when I'm making a painting, and I will let you know
Oh,
what it come
right.
out for that. But for example, when I'm painting, and this I do in my private, my private space where I need clarity, and when I'm painting, I like to listen to music. I go all the way from Pink Floyd to rock to classical to opera, and you know, not much of the country, but I think these sounds inspire me to create something else, and I think that this happened to anybody, and so I think that we all are in a circle, working as an artist, feeding from each other, getting inspiration from everyone, and so
Yes.
that's what I like about that, and the other part is like when you are an artist, they also you are so giving. And when I first met you through online,
Yeah.
you know I really felt like you was a person that like to support others, that like to give to others without expecting anything in return. And it's not many people like that. Is not many people that actually say, hey, I don't know anything about this, but I'm going to support this, and that it got from your heart. And that for me it meant a lot, because it's not just an artist, but it's also you're a kind person. And that's I think that also a, a, a ingredient that you need into your art, and I again make it beautiful. Like, so Lisa, tell me where we can find this album, like beautiful, how they can find your music.
My website,
Mhm.
lisapanagos.com. I know it's a little hard to spell. It's lisapanagos.com. And if you scroll down, all the icons worldwide are there, like for Apple or Amazon or DistroKid or Here Now. Uh, Everything, all the icons are there. Just click where you feel most comfortable buying and listening to a clip, and there you go.
There we got it, Lisa Panagos. So we got it on the screen, and we're going to make sure that we share it. But well, what can you tell us? Where are you? Your future? Like, what is your future for? What are you thinking that you're going to do?
My future is looking really exciting, so that's why I just keep going. Fingers crossed
Well, fingers crossed for sure.
that I ink this deal next month with this company, because they're also getting into a lot of films. So I'll be doing a record. I'll be doing a live show, hopefully touring in this country and worldwide. And then I am cast in a film for October in New Mexico, and then trying to get some funding for my friend just did a mob movie he wrote, so we are working on that as well. So things are really looking great. I'm
Well,
excited.
I think that that's very excited to know, and to know that you're working and you continue like moving forward through all this time, and
Not easy,
so
not easy at all. No. I
I would like to ask you, what would you say to the artists that are at home, or they're going through the lockdown, or they are we are all going through a situation. There is a pandemic. What you will tell them?
Oh my gosh, everybody has a different way of handling it. I think the people that have been Zooming like all the time and have been really social, they have like happy hours. I mean, I haven't done that because I don't know. I think that looks fun, but I don't know. I haven't really.
Well, let me tell you, there is a Zoom wine. You can do wine testing.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah, I should have been a little more social. Like I went really inward and I have not been social at all. Oh God, and talked about forced celibacy. I mean, I haven't even been, I said I'm not dating during COVID. I'm not doing anything social. So everybody's got their own road, I don't know. My advice would be to just do what makes you happy because this is such a hard time.
Well, I think
Just
that that
whatever.
is the best advice for all artists, because if they are not happy or they are in a situation that they are not doing what they supposed to, and then things become a little bit more harder to assimilate or to even to go through life, thinking, oh, I wanted to do this and I didn't do it. I mean, do you feel through your through life, how you feel? Are you enjoying yourself right now? Are you happy of what you have accomplished and where you're going?
I am. I'm very happy with what I've accomplished. I just wish the gyms had been open because, I mean, the pounds
Well,
are packed on and I've got to get them off, for when I get back to work. And I just found Equinox Gym has an outdoor gym on the roof. So I've been on the waiting list for 2 months and I just got in. So I went
who
today.
will say that you had to be in a waiting list for a gym? Huh?
Isn't that crazy for that? But
Totally crazy for sure. Yes.
I have a
Yes.
lot to do to get back to my performing self because sitting behind a computer all day and lying in bed writing songs, I mean, I went on walks, but it really is not healthy. But I made the best of it. I've made the best of it. I'm sure you
Well, that is the most
made.
important.
So, yeah, that's all we can do, right? And forgive
Yes.
ourselves for whatever stress, whatever we do while we're stressed.
Well, I think that we have so much stress. The world is stressed already. Like, why to get more stress?
So,
And so, yeah, that is the other reason of this show. Guilty by my own desires is just, yes, just accept it. Do what you need to
accept,
do and
yeah.
move forward, because it's time is precious. There is no time right now for all the um, let's call it BS.
Yes.
Is I believe this is a good moment to and an opportunity to work to whoever we want to work with, to whoever we feel there is more alike with their energy. I believe that is very important. And also for artists, well, this is just a transition. I was talking this I received a phone call from one of my music producer friends, which I would like to introduce you with.
Great.
And he is working in the making of a new documentary. A lot of musicians are gathering together and they're going to do a tour. And I can't
Wow.
disclose the whole thing, but it's so exciting. It's very well known people. And he just told me that this time for COVID, it meant creating and making songs, and suddenly everybody just was not able to tour, and they had to create, and they were able to accomplish like things that they haven't done for a while. And so yes, I think that this is a time to finally to rethink, evaluate, and see our small steps to our big goal to get accomplished it. It's a good time. Of course, you see it from the positive side.
Yes. Absolutely. You have a lot
But
you're doing. Oh my gosh. It makes my head spin what you're accomplishing over there as well. It's amazing.
well, it made me happy. I guess the conclusion of this
Yeah.
interview is that I'm going by your advice. Do what make you happy. So this is what I'm doing. It truly makes me happy having this interview with you. It really fills my heart with joy because that time that we have right now is a time that we have to share, and I really appreciate that you took the time out of your busy schedule because you do a lot of things. So like my friend Sandy told me in a recent interview, she mentioned, ask when you ask a busy person to do something, you're gonna get responses because a busy person is not gonna, they don't have time to juggling around. It's like, okay, we're gonna do this in the morning, we're gonna do this or that, and everything has to flow and come to a reality. and,
Yes.
and so that really excites me. So having this time here, well, thank you for giving in your time with the audience, with myself, and sharing about your new album, Beautiful. So for all of you out there, make sure you tune in with Lisa Panagos. I put it on the website right now. It's lisapanagos.com, and you have to subscribe to her channel and listen to this song. I know we're promoting Beautiful, but
Thank you.
listen to this song, Jump
Any-
Down, because it's very awesome. And I'm sure that that is a song that, well, to me, maybe because I like it so much, I don't know.
Glenn Harvey in Hollywood.
But I think that many artists can perform that song. And so, well,
Yes.
anything else that you would like to share with the audience, Lisa?
Oh, it's just so fun. Thank you for having me here. And I love it. Let's just accept our guilt. We're guilty.
Yeah, we're guilty and we own it. So
Yeah.
we are guilty, we own it, and we have burning desires. What do you want? Yeah. Let's burn more. Let's burn more. More.
See?
What we can burn? Because otherwise they're gonna say that we're burning the landscape in California, which no, that's not what I want to say.
Try to get the pandemic away.
Let's burn our ideas out. Let's just burn our ideas, make it happen. That's
Yes.
that's what we need. So yeah. Well, Lisa, it was really an awesome time having to share here with you today. Thank you again. And I will share again your website because I think that people must go here,
Thank you.
lisapanagos.com.
Thank
And
you.
so thank you again, Lisa. And I hope that I can do another interview with you because you are just so real. It's just so fun to be able to talk with you and make me feel like super comfortable. Like right now I'm forgetting that we're live and I'm just feeling that I am in my house.
Oh, me too. I'm forgetting that we are. I know.
And then that's I think that's what is this about, just feeling comfortable in your environment and just let people who you are. So anyway, thank you, Lisa, again. For all of you out there, thank you so much for watching this interview. Again, the shows are every Thursday. Is this Guilty by Your Own Desire? So if you're guilty by your own desire, you think that you might be, you should tune in this show and watch all these interviews. And find the interview with Lisa, and I think that you're gonna be happy to learn more about her music and know who she is as a person. So, anyway, Lisa, I will say bye bye. Be safe,
Bye.
okay?
Thank
And I
you.
hope to see you soon in person.
Yes.